I do not know what it is about dating shows this year, but they really have a chokehold on me. From Singles Inferno to Transit Love 3 to now My Siblings Romance, this is my third dating show of the year and my third dating show ever. So I did not think I would be introducing another show, but here we are. Before we get on into like other things, I just want to provide a little bit background on why I'm watching the show. So I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be talking about Transit Love 3 a lot because it is actually the same producer of Transit Love 1 and 2 and of My Sibling Romance. And so both shows, or all three shows, are hemmed by Lee Jin-ju. And for a little bit of background on her, she was actually working with Na Young-suk PD. And if you don't know Na Young-suk, then you must be new to variety shows because Na Young-suk is like the legend. Na Young-suk has worked on so many famous things. I can make probably a separate video on him, but that's just not gonna happen right now. But she worked with him on Yoon's Kitchen 2 and 3 Meals a Day. And honestly, after finding out that she was like worked underneath Na Young-suk, because he has really famous and successful friends, like he's friends with Shin Won-ho and Eun Jung, who are the director-writer duo of the Reply series and Hospital Playlist. So I feel like Lee Jin-ju working with him is kind of like a stamp of approval of guaranteed quality. But honestly, for her first show, Transit Love was such a success. If you don't know, it aired on TVing and announced that it received the highest weekly viewership for 10 weeks in a row and contributed to the most TVing paid subscription. Their paid subscribers and number of monthly users while it was airing reached an all-time high of 3.87 million. Transit Love was like a pretty big deal, like idols like IU, EXO, NCT Dream, and LE SSERAFIM. And then, so this show was really something to look out for because it was her first project after leaving CJENM. It's kind of funny now because Transit Love 3 is still airing, which is the show that she produced, but that's still at CJENM. And since she left to come to JTBC, this is her first work. And so she's really going head to head with Transit Love 3. But yeah, it is kind of funny. She's competing with her own show. I think a lot of people had high expectations of her because Transit Love was so successful, so like her new show also is pretty successful. And I actually haven't seen Transit Love 1 and 2, but so far I really enjoy My Sibling Romance. So the show is My Siblings Romance, Korean title Yeonnae Namme, and it's kind of just like Transit Love 3 in terms of plot. So instead of ex-couples living under one house, it's all boy-girl sibling pairs. So there are 4 sibling pairs and they just all live in one house together, and the only rule is you can't reveal who your sibling is. And like Transit Love 3, each episode they get to reveal a little bit more information in terms of like ages, occupations, and stuff like that. There's like other missions and like they go on dates and stuff like that. So similar to Transit Love 3, like honestly, this is basically sibling edition of Transit Love 3. It's basically like a spin-off, but whatever. So the runtime is 120 minutes to 150. And episodes, they haven't announced it officially, but if it's following Transit Love, it'll probably be somewhere in between 10 to 20, closer to 16 to 20, I assume. I realized in the previous video I made, I did not talk about panelists, but throughout the show, they also have like people commenting on it, and I'm just gonna say it real quick, I don't think that these people are interesting enough to like want to watch the show for, and their commentary is honestly such a small part. Some people hate the commentary. It's such a short part that I kind of like am indifferent, but to run through them real quick, they have Han Hae-jin, who is a model, they have Code Kunst, who is a rapper, then there's Mian from Idol, Bam Bam from GOT7, and then the only panelist that makes sense to me is Jonathan Patricia. They are a sibling TV personality, and yeah, they make the most sense. So now I will reveal the cast, and honestly, I'm just gonna kind of show their faces, and if you've already convinced, or if you wanna watch like the video without spoilers, so you can like skip around and not know the sibling pairs, and then you can watch the first 2 episodes and then have fun with the like who is which sibling. I had the entire fun this time. I thought it was gonna be really easy, if I'm being honest, and now that I know who it is, it's so obvious, but otherwise within the 4 pairs, I only correctly guessed 1. So I guess it is a little bit more difficult than you think, but if you're like got a good eye for that, then maybe you're gonna be better than me. So for the girls, the cast is Se-seung, Ju-yeon, Choa, Yoon-ha. And for the guys, it is Jae-hyung, Jun-sub, Chol-hyun, and Young-woo. You could also pause this video and just like look at their faces and try to guess, and then just have your fun guessing based off visuals and continue watching for the spoilers, because now I'm going to reveal the sibling pairs. So I will be going in order of the way they revealed it. So first up, I will reveal Taesung and Jaehyung. Wow. And Jaehyung is the older brother. They are actually such a funny pair. They're actually the most relatable pair in my opinion, because they have the bicker and banter kind of relationship. Like, he's constantly teasing her. I could have not have predicted they were siblings because the order they showed up in.
들어봤는데 일단 신발이 하나인 거에 놀랐어요. 그래서 여기서 익숙합니다. 신발이. 그래서 설마 아니겠지? 3초의 준비 시간을 가지고 들어봤는데 아니나 다를까? 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
저 몰카 아닌가요? 진짜 전생을 바로 보낸다고? 집부터 생각했는데.
So they come from a two-parent household. Yeah, they have like a really loving relationship with their parents, and yeah.
좋아.
이렇게 풀어야 봐. 왜 갑작스럽게 풀어? 미친 거 아니야? 안 좋은 말이 나올까?
The next pair is Youngwoo Juyeon, and this threw me for the biggest loop because I was saying the entire time that Youngwoo gives like younger brother vibes, but Youngwoo is 10 years older than Juyeon. Wow. Their ages are not revealed, so we still don't know how old they are, but he's at least 10 years older than her. Now that it's revealed, I think they look so much alike, and they talk about how much they look alike too. But I just did not get it in the moment, and so they come from a single parent household. It sounds like their parents divorced when they were like in high school and middle school-ish. Basically, their mom raised them herself. Their dynamic is also super cute, and it really just made me like Youngwoo more because Youngwoo was older than her and then also had the single mom, so he took up a lot of responsibility and basically raised Juyeon himself. And they're so adorable and endearing, and it honestly made me like Youngwoo even more. Even though Youngwoo originally was my visual type anyways, like the second I saw him, I was like, this guy is the most attractive. But next up, there is a shocking, but basically Choa is the older sister and Choi-hyun is the younger brother. They basically don't have parents-ish, so their mom passed away when they were young. She struggled with cancer for like over 7 years, and Choa basically took all that responsibility to care for her mom and Choi-hyun at the same time. It sounds like their dad just wasn't in the picture. They really only considered each other as family, and it's just so sweet because throughout the show is like very family oriented, and for Choi-hyun and Choa, they obviously don't have those kind of moments, like when Sesung is talking to her dad on the phone. And so I think their story really had me rooting for them, and I just like really want them to find happiness. And besides that, what I really liked about this is that the fact that the show featured, I guess, various like family situations, because the dynamics between all the siblings are different. Okay, lastly, I got here through process of elimination. Once the first two sibling pairs were revealed, it kind of left two more sibling pairs, and I was so confident with Choi-hyun and Choa. They look so much alike. There's like no way it wasn't Choi-hyun and Choa. But lastly, it left Chun-sub and Yoonha, and it also did surprise me that Yoonha is the older sister and Chung-sub is the younger brother. But it surprised me that Chun-sub has this like, he's like got a very cute side of him. It sounded like their age gap was also quite large, but they didn't reveal the number, so no clue. Basically, he has a soft spot in my heart because him and his sister have this like, he's just such he's the baby again. It's kind of like the Youngwoo Juyeon dynamic, except reverse with like Yoonha and Chun-sub, except it's different because Chun-sub is like, I think he also wants to be a reliable younger brother kind of vibe versus just being babied, but he acts like a baby around his sister, which I think is the most adorable thing ever. And like Taehyung and Sesung, they also come from a two-parent household, and their parents are so adorable. So real quick, within the first two episodes, based off initial impressions, I'm gonna reveal some current pairings. Right now, Youngwoo and Chun-sub like Choa, but from the second episode, Chun-sub is a little bit interested in Sesung, and I'm actually more invested in this pair. I think Chun-sub and Sesung make a little bit more sense. And then for the girls, Sesung and Choa like Chun-sub, and Juyeon likes Choi-hyun, whereas Yoonha likes Youngwoo. And so I think these are all pretty good pairs, but we're still early on to see if like any of these will work out. I personally can see most of these matching based off their personalities, so I like it so far. Now I'm on to the main point of why you should watch. So first up, we're gonna go with the most obvious and honestly least important reason in my opinion is the romance. Okay, I get it's a dating show, but personally I can actually see couples getting together from this. I feel like they all have pretty similar personalities, and which is also why I feel like they get along pretty well. There's a lot of bromance going on. I think they're all pretty like calm and mature people, and I honestly really like that. It feels like they're very ordinary people, and I want to watch a show because I want to feel related to like and imagine that'll happen to me and live vicariously through them, and not like Singles Inferno, which I seem to insult in every video I make, where it's just kind of like dramatic. And I mean, you could want to watch it for the drama, but for me, I'm watching it to be more relaxed and enjoyable and happy and wholesome. Like, those are my vibes. That's what I like enjoying in watching dramas and variety shows and whatnot. But even besides the original couples, I can see everyone with someone else, and I feel like that's pretty good odds considering there's only 3 options, and if there's like 1 or 2 people that they could be interested in, those are really, really high odds. So I feel like there's good odds that there will be an end couple in the end, but we will have to see. And then for the next reason you watch the show is for the family dynamics. So surprisingly, this is very different with the family dynamics involved in a dating show, but I think the way it turned out, it is very wholesome, it is very relatable. I mean, most of us watching probably have a sibling, and so you could see yourself in the shoes of like the contestants. I mean, the only relatable ones in my opinion are Sesung and Jaehyung, because me and my brother fight a lot. But like, I think that you could find a dynamic that you feel relatable to, and you know, that's fun watching. And then I think you also have more emotional investment in those characters because you can understand where they're coming from. And overall, the show is just so wholesome. They incorporate the use of a lot of like family things. So they had like the parents prepare like lunch, side dishes, banchan. I want to say toshirak, but I don't think any of these are appropriate.
와, 김치에 돼지.
와.
이거 김치찜이네 이거.
But basically, their parents provided them with side dishes that they prepared on their own. And they also interviewed the parents, which I thought was really cute. You also get to see old tapes of when they were kids, and it's just a lot of like warm family drama kind of vibes. And I think it's great because it makes the cast more endearing and you like them more, and if you like them more, you probably want to watch the show more. And so lastly, I kind of already touched on this, but I think the most important reason and the most interesting reason to watch this is actually for the cast. It's for the people. Individually, I think I like every single character. So first off, Yongwoo. If we had like picks like an idol show, Yongwoo is my pick. Like, I originally really liked him because he's kind of funny and witty, and he's also like rizzed up all the guys.
그러면은 위스키에 닭가슴살.
지금 벌써 설레거든요.
But I love how Yongwoo is so approachable, and then finding out that he basically raised Juyeon made him bonus points for me because he just seems like such a responsible and mature, considerate guy. The way he talks is adorable, and yeah. And then Jaehyung, this guy came as a surprise because originally I was kind of like, he's just kind of lame. Like, he had this whole moment where he just didn't play any sports and he doesn't like to move and stuff like that. Like, at some point he just became comedic relief, which was really surprising, but then it made me really adore him. Like, the second he got injured and then he was literally out all day, and then he gets no votes from the girls. And just the way he talks is super funny. I wasn't expecting his little cute moment with Yongwoo. In general, I just love him because he's so relatable. Like, the moment when he has to give up his room to his sister, and just the way he talks is just, honestly, he's become one of my favorites really, really fast. I'd say he actually probably is my second favorite after Yongwoo, which was surprising because I wasn't very interested in the beginning. And then Charhyun, surprisingly, visually, he's like not my type at all. But the way he treats his sister is just super endearing, which made me really, really like him. And he's just kind of like, he's got these like quirky charms, and he's actually surprisingly chatty. These are all like really unexpected charms of the guys that I didn't really think was gonna happen. Yongwoo didn't really have any unexpected charms. He's just perfect as he is. Yeah, so Charhyun also, I really like seeing that side of him. And then Junsup was also not very interesting to me. I don't really like really calm and reserved guys, but I really love seeing him be a baby around Yoonha. Like, I just thought that was so adorable and so unexpected, and I just think it's super sweet that he's able to like express his feelings to his sister like that, because I feel like most men have this like toxic masculinity thing where they like can't, I don't know, like can't express their emotions and they're mean to her sister, but he's so sweet to her. And the fact that he had the interview and said that he doesn't mind not having any votes, but if nobody votes for his sister, you could see him get mad. I thought that was very endearing and adorable as well. And then for the girls, Sesung is literally so funny. I mean, her and Jaehyung's dynamic is my favorite. They might be my favorite sibling pair. It's like one part of her is probably just like, oh, that's so funny that nobody likes you, but the same part of her is just like, oh, worried about him. And her acting is honestly phenomenal. She's so funny. I love Sesung and her bright personality.
진짜 보고 있어요.
Right now, I feel like we haven't seen much of Juyeon and Yoonha, so I don't really have much to say about them. Especially Yoonha. Yoonha has the least screen time, so I can't really say that I love them yet, but I'm sure I'll grow to love them because I love everyone else so far. And then lastly, Choa. Again, Choa, I just really want her to be happy considering after hearing her story, she really becomes someone that you want to support. And so I feel like that's maybe one of the main reasons why that I really like the show is because you can really see their stories so clearly.
짜증나게 많아. 그랬더니 오빠가 막 그 특유의 그 능청스러운 모습을 지으면서 아 짜증나면 그냥 짜증난다고 하면 되지 짜증나지 뭐야.
And they just seem like good people. Like genuinely, I feel like everyone on the show just seems like really good people, especially because they're probably here not for like the drama but for the family dynamics and like the love for their siblings. Like I feel like that's the bigger reason to come on versus like any other drama, which is why you've got this like really nice, well-rounded cast. And so yeah, I am really excited for the weeks to come, and I hope that this will be interesting. And so lastly, I hope I've convinced you to watch for one reason or the other. And so very quick where to watch it. This one is slightly more accessible than Transit Love. It is available on Viki this time, but I think you have to wait a couple of days, but that's still pretty accessible. Usually Viki is usually open everywhere. It's still on Viu and it is also on Kocowa Plus. So those are like the main streaming platforms. If you must, obviously there are other platforms in which you can watch. I would not recommend it, but if you find it, you find it. So I don't really know if I'm gonna be doing recaps because I was doing it on TikTok until I kind of got bored of Transit Love. And if I do, maybe I'll start this week. So follow my TikTok if you are curious to see me do that. But that is all. Hopefully you will see me in another video. I've got a lot to choose from, so yeah.